Derek King is now 0-2 in Alberta. Hawks lose 5-2 to the Calgary Flames. Derek King's second loss as a head coach. Keep in mind, both of those games have been in Alberta and were both 5-2 finals. But these two games that Derek King lost were totally different. The game against Edmonton, they just got blown out in the first period and it was over. Here, they were in this game and then led up two empty net goals. And what better way for the Hawks to start this game than by letting up a goal in the first minute and a half? It just happened again. They've been doing this a couple, not even a couple times, a lot this season. And when they don't let up a goal early in the game, they're usually really good at winning those games. But if they let up a goal or two really early, it's bad from the get-go. And this is usually a bad thing because the Hawks can't score in the first period. They've had struggles scoring when they get down early. If they get down one goal in the first minute and a half, they cannot respond until it's 2-0. But in this game, they actually did, with Brandon Hagel firing one past Markstrom. The first period would be wrapped up by Milan Lucic sniping one past Marc-Andre Fleury, and the first intermission would be 2-1 Flames. In the second period, a turnover by the Flames finds Markstrom out of his net, and the puck finds the stick of Reese Johnson, who then puts it past Markstrom, who dives and does his best to try and stop it. But the game ends up being tied going into the third period, because that was the only goal in the second period. But Reese Johnson, I really had never heard of this dude, honestly. I had never heard of Reese Johnson before this. So honestly, I'm glad he gets to score a meaningful goal in this kind of a game. So Markstrom and Fleury continue to make some big saves as the third period moves on and we get closer to that time mark that would force this game to overtime. But with about 5.5 minutes to go, Brady Tkachuk gets a pass behind the goal line, and he tries to center it, and it goes in the net. Turns out Tkachuk actually hit the skate of Seth Jones, and it went up and over the shoulders of Marc-Andre Fleury. And it's 3-2 Flames with only 5.5 minutes to go in the game. And this Hawks team not only this year, but last year, man, they have not been able to score in these very late opportunities. Look, down by one, under 3 minutes to go in the game or whatever, down one in those late stages of the games, the Hawks have not been able to produce. They've not been able to tie it. It's not been a very good characteristic of theirs. Naturally, this is the same. Only this time they actually let up an empty netter. And not only one, they let up a second. So then it ended up being 5-2 as the final score. I mean, you just gave them 2 goals at the end to worsen the goal differential, which could hurt you in the long run, by the way. Look, this was just a very... Look, the offense actually scored more than 1 goal. But you know what? They had a couple bad, plays, especially in the first period, and they had a bad bounce late in the third. They couldn't recover, let up 2 empty netters, and that's the game right there, folks. So that's going to end this Pacific Northwest road trip that the Hawks get to do. It's not just a Western Canada road trip. It includes Seattle here. They're back home against the St. Louis Blues. That's really big. Really big. The last time these teams met at the end of October in St. Louis, it was a 1-0 final. And then you know what? The Hawks actually played a decent game, and that was the game right before they beat Ottawa. So I hope they can put up a big fight against St. Louis. And Derek King he overcame his last loss by winning against Vancouver 1-0. Can he beat St. Louis 1-0? I mean, yeah, this is a rough one for Chicago. And you know what? Derek King's still 5-2. He's still having a very good first 10 games with Chicago as head coach. Can you keep the streak going and win against St. Louis? That's the question. This is the game to get the fans to love you, to beat St. Louis, to beat your most hated rival. Yes, I know Detroit still exists, but they're in the other conference. So, when you speak about the current NHL, it's probably St. Louis. Beating St. Louis would be a huge win, not only for Derek King, not only for the locker room, but for the fans. After a hard start to the season, now getting a chance to beat your most hated rival, I'm all for it. That is if they can win it, of course. Well, that is it for this one. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.